Are you ready to bring your real estate business to the next level? Are you ready to distinguish yourself from your competition? You ready to earn a little bit more money on every single real estate transaction? If you've said yes to any of those questions, you've come to the right place. Hi, my name is Dr. Joan Haakonstad, and I'm a real estate broker out in Michigan. I also happen to be an independent agent with a company called United Financial Freedom. And I've found over the course of years that the combination of the two has really enhanced my real estate business. First, let me start with explaining a little bit about what United Financial Freedom is. We provide a web-based financial GPS that guides our clients on the fastest way to pay off their loans, including a mortgage. In fact, our average client pays off a 30-year mortgage in 12 years, saves about $120,000 in interest, and pays off their consumer debt in as little as 1/8 of the time. Now, imagine combining that with your real estate business. Let me ask you a couple questions. Have you ever met with somebody that didn't quite qualify for a mortgage? What'd you do with them? Could you sell them on a property? Probably not. And you probably were just like me. You said, gosh, I really wish I could help you right now, but there's really nothing I can do. But when you get in a better position where you can qualify, come on back. I'd love to be able to assist you and get you into your dream home. And then sometimes they came back to you and sometimes they didn't. Well, what if? What if you could help them now and make money on that transaction and help them become a real estate client even sooner? I call it the no client left behind. And that's what you can do. By offering them the Money Max account program, that financial GPS will help guide them on the fastest way to pay off their existing loans. And in doing so, they will decrease their debt to income ratio. By decreasing their debt to income ratio, their FICO score will increase. We can also tell the system that we want to have a certain amount of money in our savings account at all times. And the program will find the fastest way to build up that savings account so that they can now have a down payment. Now you've created that real estate client even quicker. Again, you've made money up front and you've created a real estate client even faster. Now, let's talk about some of our clients that we have been able to help. What if you could help those clients pay off those loans in a fraction of the time? What do you think they would do then? Would they buy a second home? Would they start doing some investments? You'd probably create some more real estate transactions in that regard as well. What about distinguishing your listings from your competition? Imagine two houses side by side that looked exactly the same. But on your listing, you wrote in the MLS, buy this home and the seller will help you pay it off in as little as 1/3 to 1/2 the time. Do you think your listing will be distinguished from your competition? Will you get more calls for your listing? Absolutely. Now you've not only sold your house quicker, but you've also built a bigger and stronger buyer database. It's really enhancing your core business. There's so many different ways to integrate this system into your real estate business and have it enhance your core business. So first, I really want you to learn a little bit more about the system. So we're going to have one of my colleagues, Max Saunders, discuss and provide a brief overview, about a 20-minute overview about the system. And then we're going to come back together and we'll talk about a few more ways that you can integrate this into your real estate business and have it flourish. So welcome. I'm glad that you're here and enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Money Max account presentation presented by United Financial Freedom, where we are buying America back one family at a time. With the Money Max account program, you can pay off all of your debt in as little as 1/3 to 1/2 the time with no change to your budget, no debt consolidation, no refinancing, no second job. With the Money Max account program, there is no magic. It is just math. The history of our company starts with Skylar Whitman and John Lashenko as business partners and got into the mortgage industry back in 1997 and became known as one of the fastest growing mortgage companies in a 3-year period. They became aware of the debt epidemic in America through doing mortgages. What they found was many of their clients that they had done mortgages for would return 3 to 4 years later to refinance, to pay off debt, boats, cars, vacations, remodels, whatever that looked like. So they do the refinance, pay off the debt, and then they find those same clients would come back to them 3 to 4 years later to refinance again, digging themselves deeper into debt, kept spending, and kept coming back for refinance. Well, John and Skylar had a conscience about this because both of them had experienced the pain of foreclosure in their childhood and what that can do to a family. In 2002, the gentlemen, Skylar and John, began to focus on finding a cure for their clients and for the debt. So they were looking for programs that would rapidly pay off clients' mortgages. And they found in Australia that Australians were paying a lot less in interest than most Americans. And they came across a program in England called the One Account that seemed very promising, had some great attributes, but it had some very significant drawbacks. One was you had to have a mortgage. Two, this type of mortgage was a first position home equity line of credit. You had to have good credit. You had to refinance into this mortgage and pay the closing cost. This type of mortgage was based on a variable interest rate, and it lacked the technology for the average consumer to be able to navigate. So we found that while the concept looked good, it was much too volatile for our market space here in America. So John and Skylar went to work with mathematicians and IT professionals to try to construct what we now know as the Money Max Account program, and launched their first version in 2004. It became an award-winning debt elimination program. We'll see that in a moment. Did a test market to 400 homeowners and found that 1 year later, tracking those homeowners, they were about 20% ahead of the numbers and time frame that we had given them as a projection for interest savings and time to pay off of their debt. So it showed a really good track record with the individuals that purchased the program. So in 2006, they launched United First Financial. We had thousands of people paying off their homes in as little as 1/3 to 1/2 the time. Thousands more were starting that journey to financial freedom. But the program had to have a home equity line of credit as the engine to drive the program, what many people call a HELOC. Well, in 2008, Ernst & Young was so impressed with our product and our company that they awarded us Entrepreneur of the Year in 2008 for Financial Services Division in the Utah region. Now, I don't know how many of you know Ernst & Young, but their due diligence is very intensive. It's 6 to 7 months looking at the company's financials, longevity, retention, product viability, and impact on customers to see if this was a good fit for this award. This award has been given to Apple, Starbucks, eBay, Microsoft, many other companies, so it's a very prestigious award, and we're standing in very good company with this award. We've also been featured in several periodicals that you can see there at the bottom of the page on the left-hand side. Our greatest challenge came to us in 2008 with the global financial meltdown, which was a great challenge for many individuals that were operating in the financial services industry, mortgage industry, debt elimination industry, and small businesses in general. Banks stopped issuing HELOCs, so our program could no longer be sold on the open market, but we were able to continue servicing our clients for that entire period of time while we went back to the drawing board to retool and try to remove from the program the necessity for a home equity line of credit. We continued servicing our clients out of pocket. We had over 70,000 clients who were signed up to use the program. We went back to the drawing board, and to date we have invested $19 million in development and research, and we have effectively eliminated the reliance on a home equity line of credit to drive the program. Now, you can still use a home equity line, but it is not essential. We relaunched the company with the new revamped product and the upgrades to the product as United Financial Freedom, and now we can help people with bad credit and no mortgage and individuals that cannot get a line of credit to drive the program. So if we look at conventional wisdom, how do we pay off debt early? Well, traditional banking tells us consolidate for a lower monthly payment, refinance to a lower interest rate, or a bi-weekly payment program. With the Money Max Account program, there is no refinancing, no standard of living change, There is no bi-weekly payment. This is not a debt roll down. And for us, this is not concept or theory. We have a 15-year proven history of assisting our clients in eliminating their debt in a fraction of the time. Disruptive technology is a terminology we see thrown around a lot lately. And what disruptive technology is any technology that steps to the forefront and replaces old technologies because it has obviously better attributes and functionality than the old technology. Back in 2005, 2006, when we launched United First Financial, at that time there wasn't web conferencing and all that. Everything was done manual and on paper. And at that time, we were state-of-the-art in the debt elimination arena. Well, I'm here to tell you that UFF and the Money Max Account program are state-of-the-art in disruptive technology moving forward. Let's take a look at mortgage amortization. I want you to understand how interest accumulates on this type of loan, and we're going to go through a couple banking principles. If I make my first payment on that $200,000 mortgage at 6% interest with a 360-month term, my first payment is $1,199.10. That means my very first payment on this loan, I paid 83% interest. Now, I want you to look at the column that says principal, and I want you to notice that as you advance in an amortization schedule, less money is applied to interest and more money starts to be applied to principal. And we can see this here in month 2. Our principal and contribution went up to $200.10. That means our principal contribution increased by $1. Is it any wonder it takes 30 years to pay off this type of loan? This is a closed-in loan is the name of this type of product from the lender. I want you to start looking at equity and paid. At 1 year, I've paid in $14,389, and my equity position is only $2,456. If I look at year 5, I can see that I paid in $71,946. My equity position is only $13,891. By year 5 on this particular mortgage, I've paid in $58,055 of interest. Year 10, I've paid in $143,892. My equity position is $32,628. And in year 21, look at this, people, I finally hit the halfway mark on my balance at $100,122. I still owe $99,877, which means I've now hit basically the halfway mark. But I've already paid in $302,173. Now, I don't know about you, but I've paid enough interest on this 6% mortgage. If we carried this 6% mortgage all the way out to 30 years, making every payment on time, no additional money applied to principal, we would pay back $431,677. That would mean if we carried this loan out, we paid a total of 115% interest. And I don't know about you, but to me, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is nothing more than legalized extortion. Now, I know many of you are saying, Mac, I can't even buy a shed in my area for $200,000. Okay. Well, I want to just show you that it's all relative. Let's look at a $300,000 mortgage at 4% interest. In year 1, you're paying 69.26% interest. In year 4, you're paying 63.94% interest. In year 10, you're paying 55.97% interest. And in year 15, you are paying 46.24% interest. This is just ridiculous, and we have created a better way. All right, let's take a look at an amortization schedule. And there's a couple of things that I want you to get off of this amortization schedule that you didn't get off the last one. With an amortization schedule, I want you to look at interest and principal. And I want you to understand that in that schedule, principal and interest are directly connected to one another each month. So I have a question for you. Does it make sense to use 10% bank money to pay off 6% bank money? Now, I know every one of you out there is going, man, that just sounds ridiculous. That flies in the face of everything I learned about finance. If anything, I would use 6% money to pay off 10% money. But what I would need you to focus on here is it is not the interest rate. It is the type of product that you are using from the lender. Let's say I have a line of credit. That could be a credit card, a home equity line of credit. And we all know that if we apply additional money to principal, that will reduce the amount of interest that we pay over time. Well, let's take a look here. Let's say I took the principal for October, November, December, January, and February, which equals $1,010. I borrowed that money from my line of credit at 10%, which over the entire year, the maximum amount of interest I would pay would be $120 in interest on that line of credit. But look what happens by prepaying $1,010 applied to principal only on this particular loan. By doing that, we eliminate October, November, December, January, and February's interest for a total savings of $4,985 off the back end of the loan. Now, that's amazing. You invested $1,000, you got a $4,900 return. But I also want to point out to you that is off the back end of the loan. But what happens immediately, if you notice, since we canceled October, November, December, January, and February's interest, the second payment we make, which should be October's payment, will actually be March's payment on the amortization schedule, showing $994 to interest and $205 to principal. So the question would be, would you invest $1,000 to get $5,000 back? And I think we can all see that would be an equitable exchange. See, the Money Max account programs it causes every dollar that you make to either earn interest or cancel interest. The requirements for the Money Max account program is you need to have debt, a checking account, a savings account, and the Money Max account program. Now, there's optional ways you can run the program. As I mentioned earlier, you can utilize a checking and savings account, but you can also use an advanced line of credit. Advanced lines of credit would be like a home equity line of credit, a personal line of credit, a business line of credit. You could even use a credit card. These type of lines of credit are called open-end lines of credit, and the beauty of these is you can put money in and take money out multiple times through the course of the month, and the interest is charged based on the average daily balance, not the month-end balance. Remember that mortgage, that closed-end loan, you can only make payments to it. You can't take money out of it, and it doesn't matter how far you pay down that closed-end loan, the monthly payment stays the same. With this open-end credit line, as you pay down balance, the monthly payment reduces. This is a vehicle that we can use to eliminate debt. So the Money Max account program has 8 money saving strategies built into it, but I'm going to review 4 of those with you here today: interest accumulation, interest float, interest cancellation, and strategic debt payoff. So let's take a look at a possible scenario. We're going to say we have John and Rebecca Jones. They make $5,000 a month. They spend $4,800 a month, which leaves them $200 in discretionary income. They have a brand new mortgage with a $200,000 balance at 6%. They have a car loan with a balance of $8,907 at 7.5%, and they have a credit card at 12% with no balance on that card. Let's take a look at, through the program, how money flows, and we want to look at interest accumulation first. You're going to get your paycheck and put it into checking. Our program is going to come online and tell you to move that money from checking into your savings account at 2% interest rate, so you can start earning money on your money while it's sitting, rather than sitting and checking earning nothing. Through the course of the month, we're going to use a major credit card to pay all of our bills. Now, I want you to know this is an option to do this, but it really accelerates the beauty of the program. So we're going to pay our bills with this. We're going to pay any of our utilities and things with our home with the credit card. We're going to pay any car repairs, maintenance, groceries, any of our IT needs, and all of that. We are going to float that money on the credit card. So what we see is in month 1, we paid down our balance $199 by making our first payment, and we made $8 in interest on our savings account. This is interest accumulation. If we move into month 2, we get another paycheck. The program tells us to send that money over to our line of credit, that credit card, and pay that balance down, that interest float, that we were observing for all of our bills throughout the course of the month. By doing that, we pay no interest on the credit card. And if you have Sky Miles, awards points, cashback, you get those benefits as well. Now what's going to happen is the program is going to tell us to move a very specific dollar amount of money. We call this a funds transfer from our savings account to our checking account to be able to hit the mortgage and save money and interest. The program then tells us to send that very specific dollar amount, $3,989, over to our primary mortgage. And by doing that, we eliminate 16 mortgage payments. Are you ready for this? We save $18,746 of interest off the back end of the loan. This is the idea and concept of interest cancellation. We go back and we use our credit card to float our expenses through the course of the month, and then we wash, rinse, and repeat. We just duplicate the same process. The program navigates and controls all of this for you. So in this scenario, we started with a balance of $199,801. After we did our principal contribution, we're at a balance of $195,612. That means we reduced our balance by $3,989 immediately. We should be paying scheduled payment 358 on the amortization schedule, but we will actually be making our next payment at payment 340. That means we eliminated 16 mortgage payments from this loan. We were supposed to pay back $231,677 in interest. Now we'll only pay back $212,931 in interest. That means we wiped out $18,746 of interest by applying one time to principal, $3,989. So there's another complication that comes up when people are trying to figure out if they could do something like this on their own. Well, let's say you had these 5 debts. Which one would you pay off first? Which one would you apply money to? Would you apply a little bit of money to each debt and try to pay them all simultaneously? Would you concentrate on one debt? Would you go to the debt with the highest interest? Would you go to the debt with the lowest interest or the lowest balance? See, the reality is when you listen to the gurus in debt elimination on the market today, read their books, get on their radio shows, everybody talking about how to eliminate debt. Some people say use a snowball. Some people say use a debt roll down. Some people say start with the lowest interest rate. Some people say start with the lowest balance. The reality is they cannot all be right. And where United Financial Freedom is different with the Money Max account program, there is no guesswork with us whatsoever. We use a system of strategic debt payoff built into the algorithms that identifies what debt mathematically, I want to say that again, what debt mathematically you should be concentrating on to get out of debt in the quickest amount of time and save the most amount of interest. So John and Rebecca Jones, conventionally $200,000 mortgage, 30 years, you're going to pay back $231,677. John and Rebecca started with a balance of $208,907. If they follow the program all the way through, they will pay off all of their debt in 14.9 years, and they will only pay back $109,201 in interest. That means that John and Rebecca will save $123,185 and will take away 15.1 years of mortgage payments. Let me ask you a question here. What could you do with 15 years of mortgage payments? And the answer is quite simple. Anything you want. Many people ask why I can't just do it on my own. Well, I'm sure you could do something very similar. Many people for decades have been paying off their debt rapidly, but it takes a lot of time and calculations and invested focus into your finances to achieve that end goal. The Money Max program computes the optimal time to leverage your money and float and cancel interest to pay off all of your debt in record time. It does the heavy lifting for you. It sounds simple, but the formula has millions of lines of code and many, many different algorithms that are hard at work all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, giving you the quickest mathematical solution to zero debt, calculating automatically your quickest route. Banks have relied on this math and timing to make money for them. I believe it's your turn now to bank like a bank and make your money work just as hard for you. Your financial GPS is what we call the Money Max account system. It is constantly recalculating. It's constantly keeping you on track, and it looks at every single aspect of your financial situation. Do you have multiple streams of income? Is your income commission-based? How much do you owe and for how long? Are interest rates fixed, adjustable, simple, amortized, compound? It anticipates what's coming down the road: vacations, holiday spending, tax returns, unexpected expenses. And when unexpected events occur in your financial journey, just like a GPS, the Money Max account program will recalculate every number and your destination automatically. Your financial GPS guides you to pay off all of your debt in record time. It makes complicated decisions for you. It helps you stay focused. It helps track your success. It helps free up the money needed to help you build wealth and prepare for retirement. It knows the exact day and year you will be debt-free, and that one fact alone is highly liberating to our clients. The Money Max account does not move money, does not pay your bills. There are no account numbers that need to be placed in the account, no Social Security numbers. No one has access to your money. The program acts as an account register for your interface. All it wants to know is how much money is coming in and how much money is going out, and it tracks and maintains your monthly budget, and you can update the program in as little as 20 minutes per month. The program helps eliminate all debt in a fraction of the time. It helps you make educated financial decisions. In many cases, it's helped improve the credit scores of our clients. You own the program for life, so you can use it on multiple homes. No mandatory monthly fees, contracts, or surprises, and lifetime updates and live customer support and coaching throughout the usage of the program. So the question I think you need to ask yourself is, how many families do you think need our message in this product? Do you want to be the emissary for life change in those people's lives? How many families do you want to help your own family leave a legacy of wealth rather than a legacy of death? To date, with our program, we have helped our clients pay off over $2 billion, $38 million of principal, and we are still going strong. So many people at this point say, will it work for me? And I have to respond, I can't say for sure. It depends on a few variables. The only way to find out is schedule a free financial analysis with the person that referred you to this webinar recording. Then you will know what your next steps are, and they will let you know what the next step is, and that achieving your financial goals begins with debt elimination. So ask the UFF agent who invited you to this presentation to run your free savings report. Your free savings report will give you a side-by-side of your current situation versus what we can do with the Money Max account program to get you moving forward, to realize the dream of debt freedom, to realize being out of the bondage of slavery of debt, and building for your future with dignity, for your retirement, for your family, and leaving a legacy of wealth and good financial fiscal responsibility rather than a legacy of debt. Let the numbers do the talking. Don't delay. Get with the person that invited you to this program today and let them run your free analysis. The only thing you have to lose is time off of your debt and forfeiting an enormous amount of interest on servicing all of those debts.
Can you see why I am so excited about the Money Max account program and integrating it into our real estate business? Can you see how it's distinguishing me from my competition? It's not just about no client left behind, where we can help that individual that doesn't quite qualify for a house yet. It's also about going back to our existing database and letting them see how they can now own their home free and clear. They can truly live the American dream. And you can help them pay it off in as little as 1/3 to 1/2 the time. You can become their hero. It's also about building our seller and our buyer database. It's about distinguishing our listings from our competition. It's about creating passive income. It's about increasing the likelihood of us getting referrals. It's about distinguishing ourselves from our competition so that we can become the competition, so that we can help people eliminate all of the debt that they have, so that we can help people be in a better financial position, all while enhancing our core real estate business. I know it can seem a little bit overwhelming. We just gave you a lot of information, and I bet it can feel like, oh my goodness gracious, I'm not sure I could learn how to do this. Well, let me assure you, it's actually not as hard as you think, and we have a lot of training to help you be successful. Now, joining is pretty easy. It is typically $149 to become an agent. There's no monthly fee. You don't have to buy the program, although I'd encourage you, if you qualify, I would encourage you to invest in it, but you don't have to. There's an annual fee of $50. Otherwise, there's no other fee. Now, for you, because you've taken the time to watch this webinar, for a limited time, we are offering the ability to join as an agent for only $99, but you do need to move quickly. So scroll on down, press the button that says, I'm ready to become an agent. A new screen will pop up that will give you some instructions because we do have to send you to a new site. Select that button on that pop-up screen and a new page will open up in your browser. On the right-hand side, it will say Get Started, and it will give you a place for you to input your name, your email, and your phone number. Once you do that, you'll press that Get Started link, and then a new page will open up. You'll complete the rest of that page, including the payment for becoming an agent, and sign your name at the bottom, press Submit. On the next page, you'll create your username and your password, and then once you press Submit again, you'll get your agent ID, and you are ready to rock and roll. You're ready to distinguish yourself from your competition. Now, we have a lot of resources to help you be successful, so keep an eye out for emails from Take Action Partners. We're here for you to be successful. We want you to tap into your success, and we want to help you do so. So welcome. I'm excited to be working with you, and let's distinguish you from your competition. Welcome.